Europa Games, Orlando Show, NPC, IFPB, CrossFit, Muay Thai, vale todo tipo de deporte con el CEO, el mero padrino de Sports Nutrition, de nutrición deportiva, el Don Eric Hillman. How are you, Mr. Hillman?
Kid, doing awesome, man. Great show. Absolutely great show today.
Absolutely. Una audiencia espectacular donde todo tipo de estilo de fitness está presente, toda la familia. Now, what makes Europa shows so special?
One of the things we did early is that we brought in a lot more than just the fitness and bodybuilding. We tried to make it more of a family event to where we brought in cheerleading, wrestling, grappling, because fitness is more than just bodybuilding. Fitness is an all-around sport, and especially because now we call it more functional fitness, where even the bodybuilders is now with the new classical physique and men's physique, they can go out and do more things. So one of the things that we're doing with the Europa Games is we're bringing a lot more of the different kind of activities that you'll see, but which allows the sponsors and the supplement companies to find these new category of athletes who can consume the products.
Okay. I'm going to translate that right over. Juegos Europa, los Games Europa Sport, combinando diferentes actividades diversas para todo estilo de fitness, para toda la familia. No únicamente culturismo y fitness hardcore, pero porristas, cheerleading, CrossFit, todo tipo de icono de fitness y participación, all types of activities here to make sure that the whole family can participate. Now, how many people are you expecting this weekend? ¿Cuántas personas está anticipando recibir este fin de semana?
Through the door today, we're expecting over 100,000 people today.
Más de 100,000 personas aquí en Orlando. Por eso hay que acordarse a visitar. What website are they visiting to find out more information about these wonderful games?
If you can download an app, it's the Europa World Sport app, and that's where they'll find it, or they can find it at the EuropaExpo.com.
EuropaExport.com. Now, how many years have you been doing these shows?
Well, I've been in the fitness industry since 1983.
Okay.
So that will date me on how old I am.
1983, tiene desde ese año haciendo el líder de los games, los juegos, Europa Games, en todos los Estados Unidos y también para ser distribuidor de nutrición deportivo nivel nacional y mundial. Now, how many years have the Europa Games been around?
We've been with the Europa Games. We started putting on the show Ed and Betty Pariso, who are our promoters of the show, started about 19 years ago promoting the shows. Wow. Ed and I hooked up about 10 years ago, maybe 11 by now, and started putting on the Europa Games then. And first one was in Dallas, Texas.
Okay. Hace 19 años comenzó todos sus juegos Europa Sports desde Dallas, Texas. Ahora tienen en Dallas, Orlando, Connecticut, and Arizona, right?
No, Connecticut. We moved Connecticut to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is our home base.
Right.
And then we're going to announce LA in June of next year.
Okay. Entonces, un área estratégica de cada área del país de los Estados Unidos, a different strategic area and population of the United States market.
Yeah, we find out that what we had up north, we could move it down to Charlotte, still have that same connection on the East Coast. Orlando is just such a big visited, and it's almost a smile. If you look at the United States and just draw a big smiley face, it's the coast. Anywhere, and you'll find it in your countries where they border water, which is all. It's the reason fitness is so big, and we call it the smiley face, but it's anywhere that's a coastal town is big in fitness.
La cultura costeña siempre son culturas más que se promueve el concepto de fitness, lucir bien y con una sonrisa. Son los estados de sonrisa. They're the smiley states, right? Yeah. All that, and I think that's true overseas too. That might be a reality someday that Europa Sport might even be able to expand those games overseas.
Oh yeah, well, you know, we've already hooked up with the Arnold Classic. Yeah. It's now the Europa presents the Arnold Classic, and the Arnold Classic now has moved to other countries. We're waiting to see how the Arnold Classic does in other countries, and they've proven to just be explosive.
Yes, they have. The Classic Production's done a wonderful job with that.
Yeah, and so we're trying to figure out how they work, but because we bring a much younger sport, not as big as the Arnold, but we just give the vendors and the people who sell product a different market to talk to.
Okay. Otro tipo de nicho, otro mercado para los vendedores y forma de hacer un tipo de networking a toda la comunidad que reunirse, hacer un buen comercio, ¿no? Un buen negocio, también con otros deportes más emergentes en el mercado ahora. Is there, again, please remind our crowd where they can find sports nutrition products or find out more about the Europa Games?
Yeah, if you go to europaexpo.com, but please, download the Europa World Sport app, because there's more than just the bodybuilding. There's cheerleading, grappling, wrestling, powerlifting, functional fitness. There's so many more different sports on there that will help that athlete learn more about his sport.
Excellent. And I think that's what's going on internationally right now too. People are really looking at the United States as kind of being, hey, the leader of organizing these fitness festivals, because that's what they're really turning into.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, again, because the United States really does lead in nutrition. There's over 600 different nutrition companies based in the United States alone.
Yeah, I think half of those are here in South Florida too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're here because the explosion isn't just in bodybuilding taking supplements. We find cheerleaders now take more supplements than anybody because it's about the recuperation. Yeah. That's what it's about. It's
recovery.
It's about recovery and recuperating and being able to, because again, every athlete wants to excel to the next level. And we realize our foods are so processed that we have to now do it with supplements.
Yeah, I learned that when I was over in Spain. I went to the grocery store. I'm like, this is real food versus commercial GMO or whatever stuff we're getting here in the States. So yeah, it's very important. We're turning in, that society is changing. We want things that are more organic or more supplement driven, and especially in those states where the smiley faces, those coastal states where people want to look better all year round.
Oh yeah, it's become a fitness movement. And again, we talk about bodybuilding all the time, but it's a fitness movement in every sport, and that's where the supplements have come on so strong, is that it'll help you gain that advantage. That's why you're seeing football players and baseball players so much bigger and so much more athletic ability than they've ever had.
Absolutely. Por eso lo tanto estás viendo todo tipo de deportista, que sea el fútbol americano, pelotero, utilizando nutrición deportiva, porque es un requisito en hoy día. Él se marca la diferencia en el cuerpo, ser de una cultura también que se promueve el estilo, la moda de fitness, ciudades más costeñas y estados ubicados, por ejemplo, Florida, donde siempre hace sol, a mucho mar y mucha belleza. Ok, soy Kit Sanderson con Eric Hillman de Europa Sport. Closing out, cerrando esta edición, we have a little closing statement that means never surrender. We always try and make everybody, even Kai Green, say this in Spanish. So we're going to get a little Spanish lesson. We're going to say, nunca te des por vencido.
Vencido.
Eso. Chao.